Hello, hello. Alright, that's not too bad. Enough of that. And more of this. Cool, 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 cool. Continue. Man. Only this event? Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, so I gotta fix that. Hold on. That is so fucking dumb. How does this happen? Like, how does this happen? Oh, calm the fuck on, PS4. Stop being a fucking piece of shit. Oh my god, dude, you were in rest mode. Like, I don't understand how it can randomly just fucking disconnect. It's so fucking dumb. The connection test is complete, and it's connected. And it had the fucking nerve to say, you can't connect, whatever, some network features aren't available. Like, what the fuck? So dumb. Oh, I gotta run. Alright, gotta run. Run it, son. Oh man, I don't know. Shit. I don't know if I want to take this route. I was playing Kingdom Hearts earlier, right? And I thought it is like Kingdom Hearts 2, particularly Final Mix from the 1.5 plus 2.5 remix anthology. And I thought that, like, I remember why I liked the game so much. And, like, I would go as far as saying that I fucking love the game. And it reminded me of, like, the love that I had for the series as a whole. But I also remember why things started to descend after that point in the series, because for me, right, the quality of writing just started to descend so poorly after. Chain of Memories was pretty good as like a segue series between 1 and 2. 358, what? No, alright, yeah, 358 over 2 days was, I didn't like it, I actually hated the installation, but what it did for the series was good. I just didn't like a certain character there, and how they were used as a plot device which massacred the arc of a certain other character. And I'm just like, man, you can't just use characters as like plot devices only to completely... I don't think it's worth it. I'm gonna go around. Like, you can't... A person, a director, a writer, especially a fucking team, should not find it within themselves to massacre their... like, a very strong contending character in the series from 1, Chain of Memories, and 2, and completely just, like, turn around and say, yeah, like, whatever sort of character arc you're going for, we'll just say, fuck it, in 358 over 2 days. Days just to shorten it. And over in days, I'm like, man, like, did you, like, Nomura, did you forget that, like, you have a character who has his own struggles, and he apparently has his journey of redemption because of what transpired in 1, and you're saying that it doesn't matter because apparently you're trying to write a damsel in distress so that she could be used as a plot device to facilitate certain events and actions that this other character wouldn't necessarily partake in because of, you know, his desire for redemption. Like, hello? Does that fall upon hollow ears for these particular people who's supposed to be in, like, taking their craft seriously? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, how in the right mind... Like, I was talking about this with my friend, like, immediately after the stream. And I was basically, like... She helped me understand that a good reference and parallel to Nomura is Joss Whedon, or whatever his name is. And he was the one who was the director of, like, a lot of the Avengers films, I believe. Or at least the main ones that came into supporting and really getting the ball rolling for the Avengers franchise, right? And I think that she hit the nail on the head where in how referencing Age of Ultron, comparing it to the Avengers first film, it's like a former shell of like what was Avengers, the first film, and how like there was a lot of shenanigans when it came down to character arcs and like sudden or bad execution. The ideas were there, and this I'm referencing what my friend said. She said the ideas are there. It's just, if I'm not butchering what she's saying, it's just bad execution. And it's such a shame because at the end of the day, what were these people thinking that they couldn't remember what 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 was able to help craft and constitute the fruition of the original work that helped them embark on the continuation of the series, right? Like, how do they completely miss what was? And I don't know. I just don't know. It's the same thing I can say about Nomura. He somehow was able to really do well, in my honest opinion, with Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, exceptionally well in Kingdom Hearts 2. It was like, I think that is the zenith of Kingdom Hearts as a whole. And it brings me a heartache, like legitimate heartache and heartbreak, where I struggle to understand the perspective where he, and arguably many will argue that it's because he just didn't have a plan for after Kingdom Hearts 2. And apparently it shows, which I think it does show. And subsequent titles after Chain of Memories and the shell of what Days was, it really did show afterwards. There was some like resonation, or rather resonance, that kind of undulated and kind of rang pretty well in comparison to its original titles, such as like Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance. But in the totality of things, like in terms of like continuation of certain character arcs and development of character arcs, it's like, how did Nomura just completely butcher his own series? It's sad. It really is sad. Like, I don't know. Like, and now he's setting up the end of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, especially now that it has ended, to merge and be continued to be developed in terms of the overarching storyline to the post era of Kingdom Hearts 3. And it's just like, oh man, do I really want to keep track of these shenanigans? I don't know. Like, it's so frustrating. No.
Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you. Welcome to Capital Knot City.
Okay.
Proceed to distribution center.
This was pretty quick. I think I took a really quick route. My fan is actually being really annoying. I have to figure out what the fuck is going on. I don't know if it can be heard because like I took on my headphones that allows me to hear the feedback on the stream. I didn't hear anything, so like I'm not concerned, but it's just so annoying. So I want to like see if I could temporarily put some fix to what the hell's going on.
Sam, first deliver your cargo, then you can take on new requests.
Much obliged. Lightning quick as always.
I think this fan of mine is doomed.
Hey, I got something for you.
Hell yeah.
Alright, until next time.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery.
Sam, I received word from Mama that she's completed her anti-BT weapon. Prototypes of her design form a part of your next shipment. A delivery of relief supplies for the people of Port Knot City. Port Knot City is a fair distance from BT territory, but the weapons should come in handy if any stray too close. They'll also provide people with the means to defend themselves when traveling outside the city limits. The shipment also includes a variety of medicines, as well as human sperm and egg samples. These specimens are essential for maintaining genetic diversity as they were donated by civilians living outside the major population centers. By taking advantage of chiralium's temporal properties, we can ensure they remain viable for as long as required. After the shipment's been processed, connect the Cupid. Now, once that's done, the entire region will be integrated into the chiral network. Afterwards, you'll be pushing on to Lake Knot City. So we've included relief supplies for the people there as well. Of course, to get there, you'll need to cross over the lake in between. Details on that will be in a second order you'll need to accept then. Without a doubt, this will be your longest run for us to date. Make sure you've got everything you need.
Nice. So I wasn't really paying too much attention of what he was saying because I have a bit of antagonistic notions towards him. I know his story, I get it, and I understand. And I'm a fan of, like, I believe it's Tommy Earl Jenkins. I respect him very much so, and like I've been partaking in his social media, like commenting and like I've been also partaking in one or more of his like live streamed episodes of where he's going through the interviews and like giving insight and like analyzing, and like he seems to be like I believe it's like an upwards of like 5 to 6 times where he and I have like interacted publicly. I don't know if he remembers me or make notes of like whatever I'm saying, but he's cool. Like he's super fucking cool. The voice actor and the actor is so like amazing. He's cool. But the way the character is written, and I understand. I'm not saying it's bad. I just find it to be how do I say this? I find it to be incredibly impeding on the player's journey throughout the game, because I understand where Die Hardman is coming from, and I understand why he's doing what he's doing. I just wish he wasn't such a megaphone of a tutorial. That is so frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating.
a transfusion bag containing blood drawn from you. While equipped, it'll gradually replenish yours.
Sam,
Oh, fuck
this is
yeah.
our first attempt
I
at
can
developing
fight!
an anti-BT weapon. I had to work fast with what we had, so they're basically modified hand grenades. At least, that's how they're meant to function. They've never actually been tested in the field. Who knows? You might be the first person to kill a BT. And wouldn't that be something? But, even if they do work, don't forget that they're fueled by your blood. Use too much, and you'll give yourself anemia.
Okay, cool. Dude, oh my god, I'm so excited I get to fight. Oh my god. This is actually fucking tight. This is like the best part of the game. Rather, this is the best part that starts to facilitate the expedition of this game starting to pick up, if that makes any sense. I don't really use these, to my dismay, but whatever. Climbing anchor. I know I said that I was gonna use them, but like it's such a questionable set of tools that are very useful, by the way, but I actually just like finding my way around and making use of what people have placed down.
Order assigned.
Let's get some rest, figure out what's going on. I need to like clean off. And apparently there might be like a little bit of a story update.
Good morning, Sam. Blood collection complete. Thank you for your generosity.
I guess not. I thought there was going to be a little bit of dialogue. Yeah, let's shower up, clean up, figure out what's going on, and then from there I kind of want to read up on some interviews. Let's check out the weapon rack. God, that's beautiful. Let's check up on BB. Right, soothe. Tired, huh? Just 2 more times. Tired, huh? Okay, yeah, so BB's tired. I like the hat. And get some more energy drinks. One of the things I really like about this game, and to me I think it's like such a good stream game despite it being like slow. It gives so much downtime to just chill and like hang out and talk and like whatever. And I really enjoy that. It gives me time to like recuperate, chill between each like sections of talking or speaking and whatever else. And for me, like, it sucks because for me on my own during my time of which I wish to be producing video essays, I cannot find it within my capacity to enjoy recording voiceovers and in such a seamless fashion because of my current biological impediments where at random, sporadic, my chest, my lungs, my throat will all act up in such a way where my coughs are just so random. And I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? It sucks because like I can find a good rhythm on stream and then randomly I have to mute and cough hard. I always have to have lemon honey tea ready. I always have to have like a vapor inhaler ready. I have to have so many items ready to just treat this and handle it, like just to hold it off. And it sucks doing that for recording voiceovers because it kind of like I just have to say something again until I get it. But that's so much editing. It sucks. And then like recordings that should normally be like 10 to 15 minutes will sometimes go from like that to 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and like I can't editing, don't get me wrong, that's like nothing to edit in the grand scheme of things, but god damn, it sucks. It sucks so much and I hate it. It's so sad that like I want to get back into the swing of things. I want to make a Mach 2 version of the first video essay I made of the anthology that I want to facilitate and bring it to fruition, but like this headache of biological impediment is plaguing me. It's so annoying. And now I quite literally have to mute and cough. Like, I have to, on my own time, if the area of which my throat, my chest, that area, as well as the internals being that of the lungs, the esophagus, like, if that is not as warm as possible, oh my god, I'm gonna end up like coughing like hacking up a lung. I'm like, bro, come on. Like, I don't want to wear a scarf all the fucking time, especially when it's summer. Like, come on, dude. Oh, we already read this. Like, in terms of, like, interviews. Wait, what? Hold on. Hey, Sam. You heard the latest rumors out of Capital Knot City? People have... people have been seeing some kind of weird glowing, thing up on the rooftops near the isolation ward. Seems that a Ka, the part of a human that doesn't turn into a BT. That's what people are saying. Anyway, they were whatever. I care more for the interviews. Hartman, his reports are so fucking good to read. It is such a joy to read. Like, they are so well constructed, and like so much love has been given to the character of Hartman and the perspective being woven into these interviews. Oh my god, it's so much love has been given to this character. Egyptian mummies, pyramids, etc. Bridges HQ 3 years ago. At what point can it be said that man truly understood what it meant to die? It would seem reasonable to suggest that it was when he began to bury his dead, a practice which originated with the Neanderthals. In a way, one might say that our growing understanding of death... Hold on, I actually have to wear my scarf. I have to cough, then I have to wear my scarf. Okay. Where was I? In a way, one might say that our growing understanding of death drove our development as a species, our fear of it, our attempts to conquer it. Why, it could be argued our entire history revolves around these obsessions. Take the Great Pyramids of Egypt, or the tombs of the ancient emperors of China. The more powerful the person, the bigger and grander their final resting place, or to posit a more radical theory, could the very concepts of power, such monuments, no, of power and society themselves have emerged solely to facilitate the creation of such monuments, such challenges to the finality of death. Either way, in leaving behind something they hoped might endure through the ages, the builders of these edifices, I believe that's the pronunciation, edifices, believe that they too might live on forever. The mummies of the Egyptians are another means by which man sought to fulfill this desire to escape the finality of death. They were created that the spiritual self, the Ka, would have a physical vessel, or Ha, to which it could return. The Soku Shinbutsu, or mummified monks of Buddhism, are similar in this respect. However, the monks in question aim to transition straight from life to Buddhahood, in other words, to forego death altogether. But now that the beach has brought us into direct contact with the world beyond, our relationship with death must further evolve. The next stage in our understanding is upon us. 3 years ago, Corals of the Seam, Bridges HQ, life began in the oceans, and as it evolved, it graduated to the land. At least this is what we believe. This is what was believed until recently. To creatures of the sea, the land is a harsh and unforgiving place. Given this, what could possibly have compelled these organisms to make such a drastic transition? Consider that fossil of the first fish to adapt themselves to land have been found in regions with unusually large tidal range. Could it be that these creatures develop legs in order to more swiftly return to the safety of the sea when stranded? Could their evolutionary leap have been triggered by this traumatic experience? If so, could similar circumstances have shaped the evolution of the coral-like organisms that inhabit the sea and driven them to develop an ability to live between life and death? Between time and timelessness, coral is, after all, older than any organism of the land, and hardy enough to have weathered the mass extinction of 540 million years ago, and it is a life form upon which many organisms rely for survival. Bearing all this in mind, one could argue that the ability to survive in the sea is indicative of a profound evolutionary leap. This is interesting. So, he posits the question, or provides the question, where, to the creatures of the sea, the land is a harsh and unforgiving place. Given this, what could have possibly compelled these organisms to make such a drastic transition, where life began in the oceans and as it evolved, it graduated to the land? Then consider that the fossils of the first fish adapt themselves to land have been found in regions with unusually large tidal range. So I'm guessing that is positing the idea, or providing the idea, where when these particular regions in the sea have such a huge tidal range as referenced, it will deliver these particular fish towards the land, and because they didn't exactly have the means to survive, eventually they reached a point of mutation where it allowed them to grow, as it states. Could it be that these creatures develop legs in order to more swiftly return to the safety of the sea when stranded? Could their evolutionary leap have been triggered by this traumatic experience? I don't necessarily know if that is exactly the way that it is the right way of looking at it, quote unquote. And I think that when it comes down to it isn't so much the right way, quote unquote, that's not the ironically the right way of saying it. How I would posit my question would be, I uh, I would posit my contention, or provide my contention in this form. I don't necessarily think that is asking a question from the most correct perspective. I would ask it in such a way that what led to the mutation of the anatomy of these creatures originally from the sea? What forced the mutation where they had to grow legs in order to facilitate that vector of evolution for their lineage going forward? That's how I would frame my question. I wouldn't necessarily say, could it be that these creatures develop legs in order to more swiftly return to the safety of the sea when stranded, because it's providing the idea that there is intention within the realm of a mutation that drives forward the vehicle of evolution. Mutation itself it doesn't have intention, and mutation is quite literally just sudden shifts, sudden paradigm shifts within the biological template or coding of whatever species we want to reference. And so, God, I forgot so much. I forgot so much of what I read on like the 5 separate mass extinctions. But God, I'm trying to remember a good reference where let's put together a hypothetical example. Let's say that God, I'm thinking. Let's talk about Darwinism from the perspective of the survival of the fittest and survival of the collective. Let's talk. I want to talk about that. If we want to, I forgot who. It wasn't Darwin. It was it's almost like the other side of Darwin, where there's someone who crafted the idea that in Siberia, if we observe the behavior of wolves and packs, they aren't surviving because they are the fittest to survive. They survive because they are the collective that sticks together as a pack to survive. That is a behavioral mutation, for the lack of better words, in order to facilitate an evolutionary trait that has stuck, which is their tendency to stick as a pack, as a collective, to survive together, to facilitate survival of their species. And as opposed to, survival of the fittest, where if we want to reference other areas like more tropical islands, where if we want to reference different areas of a tropical island, one will see many different species of one parent, like for example birds, or I got a cough. If we want to reference like a parent species, particularly birds in in tropical regions, one region in particular, if it's large enough and there's different different regions that has mountainous climate as opposed to others that are regions that are much closer to the sea, and areas that are more jungly, we will see that this parent species of the bird will develop mutations where they decide to inhabit, whether it's the mountainous region, whether it's the jungly area, or the area nearby the sea. These mutations their traits will mutate in such a way that will allow the strongest, the fittest traits to survive, and the fittest traits will facilitate survival of those fittest traits, which will then expedite the vehicle of evolution for these partitions of this parent species. They will start to diverge in their They will start to diverge in their evolutionary paths, evolutionary lineage, and we get to observe just how much they change and differ from each other, even though their parent species it's quite literally the same. That's survival of the fittest. Traits start to mutate, and the fittest traits will stay due to the propagation of the participants, the constituents of this mutated series. If these mutated traits will be the traits that are necessary to survive in these particular climates. That is I believe that is the proper way of looking at things, quote unquote, the more correct way, instead of trying to deliberate on what the intention is by asking, could it be that these creatures develop legs in order to more swiftly return to the safety of the sea when stranded? There's a certain intention behind that question that is, in my honest opinion, biased, as well as questionable, because it's injecting on an intention that these creatures may not have necessarily, from a perspective of sentience, may not necessarily have had to begin with. they they drive themselves forward based off of instinct. They don't based off of instinct. You cannot just all of a sudden mutate and develop some new trait because of your mutation. Strictly talking about physical mutations, which begs the it begs a question where, specifically in the realm of like weight training, because I think this is worthy to reference, because this is quite literally a topic of mutation and an application of mutation, muscle memory. If a person is able to undergo the undulation of trial and error, as well as maintain a strong, consistent effort in weight training and ripping apart their muscle fibers and growing and continuing that torturous journey of rebirth for the muscle fibers, as well as the muscular cells that compose each fiber. What I learned recently, because I always questioned the idea of muscle memory, is that when it comes down to muscle memory, it's not that the muscles quote unquote remember, it's that there was a mutation that transpired within the cellular structure of each fiber that weaves together these muscle groups and attachments to whatever else may be in the body. And I'm being lazy with the explanation, but the point that I'm trying to make is that there are mutations that transpire within the cellular structure of these muscles, and because the structure permanently, quote unquote, changes, I think it's called myofibrillar density or myofibrillar structure, where the cellular structure changes to such an extent where it is considered to have mutated, and because of this quote unquote mutation in permanent change to the structure of cells, they are more conditioned and they are better equipped for the next. If a person stops training after a period of time, they could get obese, but they are in a much better position to come back to training, as opposed to someone who is a beginner of like no experience at all, weight training experience at all. They will be able to recover their progress from then at a much faster and like almost an exponential rate compared to a person who just are starting out completely fresh. So the point that I'm trying to make is that mutations will transpire not because a person has the species or animal or whatever it may be has the intent to mutate. It is just a resultant of circumstantial occurrences, as well as circumstantial pressures, as well as circumstantial trauma, as referenced here, as circumstantial traumatic experiences that could permanently mutate something, because and therefore there will be a forceful adaptation should it be appropriate going forward. And it's just resultants. It's not, there's no intent to drive forward and facilitate these resultants. It's just after the fact. There's no intention. It just happens. Stuff like that. I think I did my best to explain what my grief is, I guess, with this particular, how this question is presented to us by Hartman. Yeah, I think I was able to properly express what my underlying, not frustration, but like my desire to say it's a questionable question or questionable premise. So over here, cryptobiotes from Fragile 2 years ago. Fragile Express HQ. We call these bugs cryptobiotes. They were recorded in reference books and databases back before the Death Stranding, but nobody ever thought to give them proper classification, so cryptobiotes they stayed. They're named for the process of cryptobiosis, which means hidden life. When environmental conditions get too harsh or resources too scarce, cryptobiotes can shut down their metabolic processes and enter an almost death-like state in order to survive. Tardigrades and sleeping chironomids are capable of this too, but cryptobiotes are on a whole other level. They they can survive anything and anywhere, even on the beach or in the sea, and they aren't capable of prolonging only their own lives. Humans who eat them acquire a limited resistance to timefall too. You won't find them lying around just anywhere though. You need to know where to look. Not many people even knew they existed until recently. Oh, I need to cough. Okay. And they aren't capable of prolonging only their own lives. Humans who eat them acquire limited resistance to timefall too. Oh shit. Oh, that's why she says a cryptobiote a day keeps the timefall away. Interesting. You won't find them lying around just saying, oh my god, I have to cough again? You won't find them lying around just anywhere though. You need to know where to look. Not many people even know they existed until recently, so next to no research has been done. But now that their beneficial properties have been recognized, I'm willing to bet they'll play an important role in helping us to understand the beach, the Death Stranding, and everything else. Nice. Interesting. Just want to save just in case. I think I have enough weaponry. It's 1 hour in. I think I'm gonna get another hour in, and then that'll be it. So I have to go here, and then I'll go there. No. Oh, so the exclamation point isn't about there being like a debriefing in terms of story. It's about cargo for Sam being present. Okay.
Beginning scan.
Dude, what the fuck is with the bots? Like, how has Twitch, as well as its parent, Amazon, have been letting these fucking bots been on the rise? I had to ban so many fucking constituents that followed because, like, they're bots. I think I've banned at least 5 to 7 already. yeah, like, I don't understand how, like, such a prevalent site with the amount of success that it has had so far, I don't understand how, like, there's such neglect towards these issues. Like, clearly there is, like, a bunch of bots that are following on, like, it's on the rise, where clicking on the profile is apparently going to dox a person's information. It's like, that's fucked up.
Looks like you got some more orders to take care of. Remember, once you get to Port Knot City, you'll be crossing the lake. So you should make any pending deliveries before then. Take a look at your map and figure out the most efficient way to get to all the places you need to go. Keep on keeping on.
I know I said that I wanted to complete all the missions, but, like, that's not my... the further and further that I play this game, my mission to enjoy this game to the best of my ability, it's to get through the story in the most fun way possible. And I cannot find myself having fun doing side missions for the sake of. And I'm sorry, but, like, that's just not fun to me. And, like, if I want...
Sam, having dooms gives you advantages most folks don't have. But as capable as you are, you're also on the bridges now. An organization filled with experts in a whole variety of fields, all of whom are ready and willing to help. The team is here for you, Sam. All you have to do is ask. Got it? Good.
I don't find it within myself to do all these side missions. If I wanted to, like, grind things out to that capacity, I'd be playing a JRPG. I'm sorry. Like a traditional JRPG. One of the reasons why I love this game is, like, your progress is based on a lot of what you do from mission to mission, like story mission to mission, one story mission to the next. And I think it's like, I think it would be disingenuous to myself if I try to say and posit the idea that, yeah, I'm playing this game so that I can enjoy it as much as possible, even through the lens of side quests. And I'm like, not really. I don't find that interesting. I want to facilitate the grounds of which I want of trying to understand this game better, while also trying to have a better or more improved, or rather an improved sense of gameplay compared to my 2019 journey. And I just think that the combat, as well as the story and the interviews, that trifecta, to me, is like king. It's the foundation of my joy in this game. The interviews, the story, and the combat. Oh my god. And I can't find myself to defend having to, I specifically stated this way, having to do side missions. They're side missions for a reason. And I understand there are certain pieces of story that comes into fruition and gets showcased because of these side missions, but I just don't care. I'm sorry. I care about the main story, I care about the combat, and I care about the interviews. That is what I care about. Everything else doesn't matter to me. I should have crafted repair sprays. That was a bit irresponsible on my end to not do so. The interesting part about like this codex or this scanner is that it doesn't scan and detect, rather it doesn't visualize the BTs until you stand in place and then scan. And now my goal is to go back to where it's not as flooded, and then I will traverse onto here. I'm gonna take a massive detour. The good part is about what I'm doing is I'm actually trying my best to pay attention to BB's antenna, essentially. And the more I pay the more I pay attention, the more the less I am going to partake in the shenanigans of constantly scanning the area. In my Kingdom Hearts stream earlier, I mentioned how like I was gonna be right back and get some like coffee that was delivered, right? And like that's no big deal. And I thought getting cream instead of milk was going to how do I say this? That I was going to hopefully get away from the problem of my lactose intolerance, and oh my god, it did not. I still like faced hell and war in the bathroom. Ugh, man. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to traverse through these mountainous regions, but we'll see. Part of my desire to facilitate an enhancement and efficiency this time around of this games this year of me playing this game, and the more difficult mode is I want to make sure that with whatever it is that I'm doing, right, I want to get better at reading the topography, the different elevations of the map. I want to get better at that. And for me, I wasn't expecting the landscape to be as aggressive as this, but I saw that this was a path towards efficiency. If I was not an idiot, I would have had prepared and packed the anchor ropes, as well as the, I don't know, something else. Maybe a ladder would have helped. But the good part is, you could still march onto this. It's just one has to constantly hold the one needs to constantly hold the stability buttons, like R2, L2, because if they don't, then it becomes way more difficult to traverse these pretty arduous landscapes.
There we go.
I keep forgetting that, like, scanning the area doesn't always mean I'm trying to scan for, like, BTs or mules. I'm scanning for materials, resources.
Nice.
Why is there a battery station here? So my thing is with the repair spray, I don't know. My thing is with the repair spray, I don't know if I want to use it now or when I get there at the destination, because if I run into timefall again, what's the point if, like, my cargo gets damaged and ruined again? I wasted a can of repair spray. As opposed to like utilizing the repair spray over there, I'm guaranteed to repair with no incoming damage once from when I finish repairing it towards delivering it.
Sweet fucking relief.
That's kind of my dilemma right now. It's not too much of a dilemma, but still. And I think when I get there, that's when I'll probably call it quits, because I do feel like I am honestly really tired, and I would like to get some rest, and I would like to prepare myself to get to bed and just relax for the night. I need some over-the-counter painkillers, because I'm feeling a headache coming on.
Anybody hear me?
Wait, what? How do I... I just wanted to make sure. I thought, like, something was wrong. Okay, so yeah, I think that's the plan. Once I get there, I'll deliver my stuff, and then I will call it, cause I'm rapidly running out of energy for this. I should be picking this stuff up, but like right now I have no reason to do so, and what I mean by that, usually I have enough material to craft weapons and whatever it may be. I usually have enough material for whatever it is I need to craft, so I don't have to go out of my way yet in order to farm up material. That won't happen until the next phase of this game, when I need to start crafting bigger structures for the sake of facilitating a much better and conducive way of traveling. So I will hold off on hitting mule camps and farming mule camps, which honestly hold a fuck ton of like material. And right now I really don't have the necessary equipment to handle carrying that much weight on me. Right now I can only handle up to what, like 135 or 125 kilograms. With certain equipment upgrades and like bestowed equipment, new blueprints and whatnot, I can double that, 250 kilograms, which is fucking nutty. That's a lot. That is a lot of equipment that I can haul ass with. So I have to be careful, because apparently I've seen gameplay where like rocks have fallen, and like I've seen someone's gameplay, I think back in 2019, where like avalanches or like boulders of snow has fallen, and it's like, holy shit, man, like that's nutty. Like I haven't personally explored the realm of the boundaries of the realms of which these environments are situated in, so I never personally experienced it, and I don't think I will go out of my way because I don't care enough. I just enjoy the possibility that exists, and I've seen some of those shenanigans in other streams or episodes of this game, and it's more than enough for me to ingest that experience through them as opposed to doing it myself, because I like I said, I don't care. I personally don't care. My way of enjoying the game is through the interviews, through the story, and the combat. That's what I like.
Too close.
And efficient traveling when the time comes. This is scary because I don't know what's on the other side.
Be nice if somebody would fill in for me for a day.
No, that was scary. I gotta focus.
Just you, yourself, and me.
Okay. Oh my god. The way that like this he shakes and the screen just like undulates back and forth. Oh my god, it's like what the fuck?
Let's get back to it.
Can I actually stop here?
Beginning scan. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Ugh.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
This is rough. I'm actually burning out pretty hard. Like, I'm tired, and I do want to finish my delivery before I call it quits. Man, I am picking the fucking dumb nut fuck of a way out. Okay. My god, this is it's such a gargantuan nightmare.
Looks like a path.
Like, it can be done, and I will do it, I'm pretty sure. It's just, damn, dude. Like, all of this just to avoid BT territory? Ugh. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. Right? Tomorrow I have nothing planned except laundry. And actually I might have an obligation or two to partake in, which is a shame.
We've walked up worse.
I wasn't the one who walked up here, was I? There's no way. It has to be someone else. Yeah, there's no way this is me. I just have to trust myself, follow the path that I charted out, adapt based on whatever hellacious conditions I come across. It should be fine. Usually in the mountainous region this early in the game, there isn't any formidable impediments such as BT territory or mules. They're usually not that unforgiving this early in the game. Usually. I'm about to enter mule territory, I believe, or uncharted territory. Oh, never mind. I'm connected to the Carl network. Okay. Part of me wants to say I'm just sitting back and enjoying the scenery, but dude, I am actually just fucking tired. I don't know what to say anymore. Like, I'm just watching myself play this game and I'm like, oh man, let me just get to the destination already, please.
Sam.
Holy fuck, man, I made it.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Sam, it's Hartman. Your friend and fellow doom sufferer. Our affliction, such as it is, began with the beach, or rather, our discovery of it. Once, the question of life after death was answered only by religion and philosophy. But when we learned of the beach's existence, death became something more tangible, knowable. The living soon walked the shores of the afterlife, while dead things, beached things, began to find their way back. And then came dooms, and with it a host of theories advanced by physicians and psychologists, desperate to explain the world's newest mystery. The symptoms were duly categorized and stratified into levels. But repatriates like you are a singularly rare breed, worthy of a classification all your own. The specialists must have been climbing over one another to get a look at you. I wonder what they found.
Cool. Hartman is probably my favorite character outside of Sam. I love Hartman's character. After that is probably Deadman. After that is another character, the one that we see in to Sam's interpretation, his BB's visions.
Decontaminating suit. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
What? Oh. Oh. Gotcha. I wasn't either. No, I need to call it quits.
Your work is great.
Okay. Check on BB.
You okay? Tired, huh?
Okay. So let me check on my suit actually. I wonder if there's any colors I can change. I'm just preparing myself for when I come back to the game, which will probably be at some point next week. Okay, yeah. Let's see what I have left. So basically, like, he's saying how the bridge links and, like, basically cooperating with each other and making all these structures to bridge each other and helping support traversing through the land and make things easy for each other is the way to go. Yeah, so basically just make sure that I'm taking care of BB. Alright. That is it. I am done. Till next time.